What's up, fish tank people? Dawson's Fish Tanks bringing it to you on a Sunday, baby. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're going to expand a little bit on aquarium filtration. In last week's video, we talked about mechanical and biological filtration, but due to your comments, we're going to expand that topic and we're going to roll it out into one of my favorite parts of this great aquarium hobby. We're going to talk about aquarium plants and how they filter in your aquarium as well. And I want to talk about a complete no-no with water that I see people doing. It is both a waste of money, a waste of energy, and a waste of time. And as I mentioned in last week's video, mechanical filtration works like, say, the air filter in your car. This is a sponge from an AquaClear 110. The water flows through this. Any particles in the water get stuck in this. Just like air filter in your car, the particles get stuck in there. However, the rubber meets the road when we get on to biological filtration. Folks, take this rule, write it down, put it on your arm. Ask yourself when you're looking at your aquarium and something's wrong or right, what would Mother Nature do? We're going to get full woo-woo. We're going to talk about lion poop. And in last week's video, I had a beautiful comment where someone eloquently disagreed with me on something, and I would love to get your feedback in the comments on that, and that is this. I said last week in the video on beneficial bacteria versus filter load that the filter right here does not house as much beneficial bacteria as the substrate. And as someone so eloquently pointed out, they were like, Dustin, however, if you were to take a brand new aquarium over here and a brand new aquarium over here, and you took this filter off and put it on an empty, uncycled tank over here and put fish in, the fish would probably survive. But if you just took the substrate and all of the bottom bacteria down here and put it into a tank without the filter, the fish would not live. I have a caveat for that, but I would love to get your notes in the comments on what you think about this scenario right here, as well as your thoughts on the beneficial bacteria in an aquarium. Okay, I'm gonna go way out here on this one, but I hope you all can relate with me onto some basic biology and the circle of life and the food chain and all that good stuff, and then I'm gonna tie it back into aquariums after I talk about lion poop. It goes like this, okay? Think biological filtration. You've got grass. The grass grows in the safari in Africa. And then what happens? What eats the grass? The big gazelle comes along and eats the grass. And then the gazelle is eating the grass. And then what happens? The giant lion comes up behind the gazelle and bites its head off and then takes a poop. The poop goes down into the grass. It helps the grass grow. The grass grows. The gazelle eats the grass. The grass is then feeding the gazelle, and then the gazelle gets eaten by the lion. The lion poops, and the grass grows some more. Does everybody understand the basics of that? But what if the lion crapped in the field and the lion poo was not used by the grass? What if there was no grass? All that would be around would be lion poo and no grass for the gazelles to eat. Then what? A bunch of starving gazelles walking around in a bunch of lion poo. The lion eats good for a while until the gazelles stop reproducing, then the lion can't eat and the lion dies, all because the lion's poo wasn't absorbed by the grass. Okay, we're gonna get away from lion poop. We're gonna talk about your aquarium and how it relates back to lion poop. It goes like this, and it's even worse. These are your fish. You have purple fish. Purple fish right here rolling, and they're good. And this is typically what happens. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fish that are all different colors in this beautiful universe. And then what happens? These fish poo, right? These fish go down here and they poo and they poo and they poo. But Billy Beginner is like, you know what? I got these fish and I want to feed the fish. Just, Mom, can I feed the fish? And they just pound the food, just slam the food. And then the fish just poop more and more and more and more and more. They're like my dad's cats. He leaves the food out. They poop all the time. You don't feed them as much. They don't poop all the time. So these fish are getting fed like crazy. They're pooping like crazy. And unlike the grass in the safari where the gazelle eats the grass, this poo is actually doing you more harm because this is in a closed system and it goes to red. And it goes down here to red. And the problem is this stuff becomes toxic ammonia, like down face right here, because Billy Beginner did not establish the purple beneficial bacteria down here. Because right here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bacteria. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fish. So our fish load is greater than our beneficial bacteria load, which means death to all fish. And all the fish die. And look, I've added fish too quickly to aquariums more times than I would like to admit. Okay, so here's the rub. Here's how I hope you all can take this back to your aquariums. This is super simple. Break it down for you like this, then we're gonna tie it into plants. Now I'm gonna break this down for you as easy as I can. This is your green for good beneficial bacteria in your aquarium. It is all around, all amongst us. You've got, for easy numbers, I don't know, 18 beneficial bacteria. When your beneficial bacteria load is greater than your purple-tailed fish load, because you've only got 3 fish over here, but you got 18 beneficial bacteria, you win. You get a gold star, Heisman Trophy, AFC North Championship, whatever you want to do, you win when this happens. Now, the rub is this is the problem, and I'll show you examples of how we're not balanced right now in our aquariums. When you have only 7 beneficial bacteria over here, and it's less than your giant, I'm a beginner, I'm gonna add a ridiculous amount of fish to this aquarium, because that's how I roll. This is death to everything, okay? Now, think about this like Mother Nature. You go out in the gazelle field. The field is full of grass. There's a ridiculous amount of grass, right? Then there's a decent amount of gazelles, but there's only a few lions, okay? So, if I can impart this little fish tank rant wisdom to you all, as I spit when I talk, it would go like this, okay? It gets even better. Because we got our beneficial bacteria. Our beneficial bacteria right here is all good. Dusty's gonna bring it back to his home run favorite topic. We got all our beneficial bacteria right here. And we've got our light fish load right here. And then we've got the plants involved. And there's more plants, because the plants, it goes fish poop, ammonia. Then there's the beneficial bacteria, it goes to nitrite, nitrate. And then the plants eat, drum roll please, the nitrate. The plants eat the nitrate. So if you have a larger mass of plants eating all the nitrate, these 3 fish can poop for days. It doesn't matter, because you have a ridiculous bioload both down below here for your beneficial bacteria and my favorite filter, the plants. So when you have a ridiculous amount of plants, when your plant load is greater than your fish load, and I'm gonna do it in brown even though it's supposed to be like, you know, purple and happy and stuff. Might even do it in pink, because pink is happy. When your beneficial bacteria is greater than your fish load and your plant load is greater than your fish load, you win, and you will always win. So today, on this Sunday, this Species Sunday, it's all about fast-growing plants that are gonna go and suck up all the nitrate out of your aquarium. You could have a giant aquarium filled with a ridiculous amount of plants and a few light fish, and you will be golden all day long. The reverse of that does not work, as many of you have found out when you first got into this hobby. You cannot have a ridiculous fish load and a very, very light plant load, or light bacteria load, because your fish will die, just like the lion dies when the gazelle is unable to eat the grass that is fed by the lion poop. Now let's talk about some plants. I want to stay here for a minute real quick talking about beneficial bacteria, or lack of it. This tank behind me here is slightly green. Why is it slightly green? Because we typically have it chock full of plants and chock full of full sun. Well, now we've sold a lot of the plants, so now the plants are not available to absorb all the extra nutrients. The extra nutrients are quickly consumed by a thing called algae. So even if your beneficial bacteria load is unbalanced in your aquarium, you may not be killing your fish, but your waste of your fish that's not being consumed by your beneficial bacteria will help an algae bloom, which is what we're seeing right here. So in tanks like this, you want to watch it, because we're off balance right here. There's not enough beneficial bacteria. There's too much light. There's not heavy enough plant load. And I would argue that I think I could get away with this even longer, just like my man Greg Sage does. If I actually had gravel in the substrate of this, I think it would have less of a chance of getting algae, because there'd be more spot for the beneficial bacteria to live. But it's Sunday, it's Species Sunday, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, how can I bring it to the fish tank people, as my voice cracks, and explain to them how to do it a la natural in their aquariums with something that will absorb the end of the ammonia nitrite to nitrate cycle. And I got 3 species for you, and then a big old example I'm doing at home. The first one, you've heard me talk about it before, Hygrophila deformis, high grow, aka water wisteria, super fast growing. This is actually a variegated variety that we have right there. You can see a little bit of the variegation on the leaves. Fast growing stem plant, looks completely different growing above water than below. Obviously this is growing all below water because that's how we roll. This is a super fast growing easy plant, absorbs nitrates like crazy. So if you're a fat freckled fish tank freak kid and you want to overstock your tank, overstock it with a ridiculous amount of this plant right here. It will grow like crazy, but I got another one for you. This one is Ivan Drago Tough. It can be found in Siberia. I want to talk about hornwort. We have ridiculous amounts of hornwort growing all over the place here. Float it, doesn't even really have like a root structure. It's so hardcore, it just floats around and just grows and grows and grows. Absolutely love hornwort. I used to ship, back when I was stupid enough to sell cherry shrimp, I used to ship them in this. I believe it absorbs even ammonia perhaps, but it's a super hardy plant. Float it, fish like to breed in it, guppies like to breed in it, you name it. Hornwort, super easy one. But how can I bring it to you with an example from my own life, how I'm actually rolling myself, and it works like this. I've got an overstocked pond, okay? My pond is too small for the large amount of fish that I have. So what does that mean? I'm not practicing what I preach. It means I've got too many fish in too small of a tank, so I have to have a ridiculous plant load to compensate for my heavy fish load in my small water volume pond. And one of the plants that I do ridiculously well with, and you can see me getting in my pond here to show you that is Aquarius Elodea. This plant is so hardy it can survive in the almighty Lake Erie, okay? Aquarius Elodea is a huge nitrate absorbing plant, like super fast growing. They used to do experiments on it back in biology class back in high school. Absolutely love this plant, one of the hardiest plants I sell. Grows out the side. When you get it, it's gonna do some weird stuff and it'll kind of like take this little side angle off. But Aquarius Elodea, folks, do me a favor. If you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button, the share button if you care. Everybody make it an awesome week and tank on. Later.